Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast. I am the devilishly handsome outlaw himself, your king of extreme, Phil KOE, joined by my indomitable broadcast partner,
Tony G, four-time champion.
The artist formerly known as Ty Dillinger. I have problems with you, sir. This is our review of Fyter Fest, by the way, but I have problems with you, sir. You robbed MJF of a clear, easy,
back where it belongs.
Robbed MJF. He was going right down the middle, following all the rules, really good, doing what he could to get to the victory the right way. And
well, before we get into all that,
Mr. Smith, I take objection to you, sir.
let's just break down the old card. But the important thing, folks, it's home. Your 6-day title reign comes to an end. Back where it belongs.
Hey, it's important to set records, no matter what those records are.
Indeed, indeed. So, that said, AEW Fyter Fest.
Interesting card.
Interesting card. We're going to start with the pre-show and work our way down the line. First and foremost, Bleacher Report Live app. Wow.
Yeah,
you
that was bad.
suck.
Yeah, that was bad. That was worse than I've seen the network at first.
Yeah, I felt like we were watching WWE Network back in like 2014.
Yeah, it dropped out a lot. We had to go to 3 different devices. First, a television with a Roku stick. That didn't work.
Nope.
Then the laptop worked okay. Then the phone worked even worse.
Yeah.
Then we went back to the laptop.
Yeah,
so,
it wasn't pretty. We thought it was just our internet connection.
No.
No,
that was a widespread problem, turns out. So,
it really, honestly, it kind of affected our viewing because we missed some spots. It really affected our enjoyment of the match fluidity. So if there are some poor star ratings on our behalf, mind you, that's probably part
blame
of
on
it.
the streaming network as well, but I don't think we're being terribly out of line here.
No, and I'm going to be probably a little more brutal to a few of these matches than the online community likes.
A bit more generous to a few of them.
That's probably fair. So
there was blood on the show, so you know.
Mm-hmm. There was plenty of that. But starting things out on the pre-show, the Best Friends, SCU, and Private Party had a triple threat tag match. Really strong, out of the gate, high-impact match. We both had differing opinions. I had Private Party. He had SCU. Surprise, Best Friends win. Honestly, SCU was solid as hell. There was a few spots that looked a little forced on their part with the spots that they did. Private Party, though, really unexpectedly, no. I expected it. They looked very crisp. I like their tag team maneuvers enough to the point where they don't look overly staged.
They got over with me tonight, Private Party, just by the way that they decide to weigh themselves. Is they weigh however many fluid ounces of grape vodka. That was kind of funny.
Who's that? The Best Friends. I'm sorry.
It was a Cirque du Soleil match.
There were parts that were.
And there's going to be plenty more of that later.
There were a few clunky spots, though, and the timing was a little off on a few spots. But unsurprisingly, I guess, for some, Best Friends pick up the win. They're 2-0 in AEW, so they'll be
I was
moving
not
up. Yeah.
happy about that at all.
And then, of course, we
Wrong
had...
guys won that one, my opine. But that's also because it made it more difficult for me to retain the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast Championship. But fear not, KOE Nation. I am a record setter with my 3rd title.
I probably liked it more than you. I gave it 2.75.
2.
Fair enough.
2. I mean, it was okay. It was a serviceable match. I'm getting really tired about saying that about SCU. They should really be doing better. It was a serviceable match.
Well, it was Kazarian and Scorpio, not Kazarian and Daniel. So that's
true. So
probably hurts it. But then, of course, we had the Dark Order thing, and the lights went out for a long time.
We didn't really see much of that because the network kept cutting out.
So I
saw it on YouTube on my phone. That was how we saw it.
I didn't like it, and then they never even showed up. I didn't really care.
The artist formerly known as the Super Smash Bros?
It didn't do it for me.
Yeah.
So moving down, then we had some cheesy Bucks Omega stuff, mildly amusing with the models. Never mind.
Do you feel that might have been another little subtle jab at WWE, maybe?
There's plenty of those. So then we got into, I don't understand the luster of the librarian gimmick. I don't get it. They work as a team, but it's too much. I don't buy her as a librarian, I guess.
Because that's annoying. I mean, anything that's annoying. It's kind of like, remember Right to Censor? It was annoying. And remember how much money that made.
Right. Well, the important thing is Allie came out, shut up the shushing. She got a decent reaction, but, man, the match, no, it was clunky. They didn't have a good chemistry between the two of them. I don't know. The ending was okay. I gave it 1.5.
1.
Fair.
Sorry, but I'm just being honest. Nothing I saw impressed me.
No, it wasn't great. It wasn't a good showing for either lady. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that one could have used a third person to make a three-way.
Yeah, that would have made it better.
Triple threat match would have made that better. So,
and then the real freaking main event of the pre-show, the Jabali.
This match was a joke. I don't. Again, here's the thing. Throughout, later on in the card, you have all this super serious stuff being portrayed, and it's on the same card as a guy using a inflatable flamingo to set up a wrestling hold.
He sold the hook of the flamingo inflated.
Yeah, that was a joke. I don't get that.
I liked the GameCube controller choke. That was kind of funny, but it wasn't. It was a hardcore match, and it was humor. Had this been under the WWE banner, people would have shit all over this match. But no, the crowd pops.
Hey, this is the adult show. We can actually...
Exactly. I can say shit. It's okay.
Yeah, don't have to say poo.
It was
PG.
It was it was bad. It was bad.
Yeah.
The release German, though. Holy God.
That looked like it almost broke Nakasaki's neck. Nakazawa. Oh, I'm sorry. They're doing so good branding these guys that I'm just, so.
And the table spot was overly dangerous, but I digress. I didn't like the match.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
I didn't like the match. I gave it 1 star. I'm sorry.
The hook with the setup, half star. Half star. It's in the running for potentially worst match of the year. For my personal. It's in my running for worst match of the year put on by a major wrestling promotion.
Well, it's going to be...
And that is saying something, considering it somehow topped the Battle Royal from Double or Nothing. So
that's going to be in our running for Wrestle Shit of the Year.
At least that had MJF
there. Yeah. So then we open the actual show. Sema and Daniels, strong showing by these guys, but again, we got hindered by the clunky Bleacher Report app. Really hurt our viewing experience. I kind of want to go back and just watch it because I'm such a huge Daniels fan. I'd like to see it start to finish without the interruptions. But Sema, the corner hang-up, knee backbreaker, that was a great spot. And surprisingly, solid ending. Sema gets the win. For what we saw, I'm going to go 2.75. Phil's really got to think about this one because, like we said.
It was something what did we miss?
That's what, yeah.
So is it a 2.5 or is it a 3 star? I'm going to have to. And again, Chris Daniels, Sema, I hate to say this, it was not your fault. It was your streaming network's fault. I have to give this match 2.5 stars because my viewing experience was not wildly different from everybody else's.
Okay, that's fair. Then, of course, we got into a triple threat women's match. Man. Nyla Rose, Yuka, Riho.
Yuka needs a little more time.
Yuka's not ready for this level.
Yeah, she...
I couldn't believe...
She needs to ripe on the developmentals a little
There were
more.
so many spots where I was legitimately scared for the rest of them in the match because at any moment she could have screwed something up to the point where they could have been legitimately hurt. It was really bad. There was a bad Hurricanrana spot. Nyla took it bad, too. It was really, really not good. The scariest part was when she danced a little bit on the ropes. It didn't get her footing and just kind of juggled on it.
She almost went back off the ropes. And, there was
And then she had a bad missile drop kick after that. It really...
clunky match. And we also missed the finish because the network was dropping out. So...
I gave it 1.5 Riho wins.
1 star. I'm being pretty brutal to the undercard, but
yeah, it's fair.
And again, only part of the blame is with the talent.
And
the other talent has to be with the production. So the people in the production truck,
yeah.
the provider of the network, all of this, like, this should have been sorted out.
And that's the other thing. Like, a Double or Nothing, for being their first outing,
seamless.
There were a couple spots that weren't quite seamless, I'd say, but it was a much better production level.
Yeah, the production was.
No, this
I
was.
couldn't tell. I was looking at it.
There were camera spots that they were looking at the wrong person. They were looking at manager reactions instead of actual action happening. Yeah, bad production.
I say this every time, and if you're watching this, I doubt you are because you're probably swimming in your pile of cash. Kevin Dunn, you are worth every freaking penny. Indeed. So don't ever let anybody tell you you're not. So
then we got into the Fatal 4-Way: Hangman Page, MJF, Jungle Boy, and Jimmy Havoc. Wow, MJF, you nailed it out of the park again. Your promo work to start this.
Oh, mwah, mwah, mwah. I kiss it 3 times. I mean, as
I give it a 4th. Wow.
One ascendant world-class heel to another, MJF.
Indeed.
I am just, everything I see you do is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And your opening promo was marvelous. Every bit of work in the match, little thumb in the eye,
and he gets
kicking the rope that went into the guy's crotch. I mean, everything was right on point.
Oh yeah, the finger and the kick to the crotch, just beautiful. That's the thing though about this match. We were saying this during the viewing, like, did we need 4 guys in this? No, you just needed MJF, you needed Hangman Page, one of the other 2 to be there.
To take the,
You didn't need 4 because Jungle Boy didn't do a whole lot. Havoc did less, honestly. He was kind of there as a
remember him?
Opponent. Yeah. I don't know. I thought it was a really good match. I was a little underwhelmed because I think they should have gotten more time. I think the 4 of them deserved a little longer of a match. I think had it gone longer, had they gotten to do a few more spots.
Let it go longer and minus one of the guys out there.
Yeah, a triple threat would have had much better psychology, would have had much better fluidity. But all that being said, I thought it was a really damn good match. I gave it 3 1/4. Hangman Page gets the win and gave me the belt.
I don't mean to sound particular here, but I was like, other than a handful of folks on the card tonight, I had to point out how many people that we're looking tonight look like they could actually whip somebody. Jungle Boy don't look like that. That's what's his dad's name?
Luke Perry.
There we go. That's Luke Perry's son. He ain't whipping nothing.
No.
Havoc don't look like he's whipping anything.
No.
MJF was one of the most muscle-bound Adonises of the whole show.
True. He is. He's got a good physique.
Hangman Page has a good everyman look.
He does.
But
you're right. MJF has the best physique.
MJF and Cody was the second most cut. And then, Kenny Omega is always just chiseled. But that's besides the point.
That's a different body altogether.
But that doesn't... Not a lot of folks on the show look like they could just whip somebody. And that's a problem, in my opinion.
To be fair, though, we are mostly used to watching a product that 90% of the roster is just chiseled out of stone. So this is a much different product.
I'm 6'3", and I'm too small for that roster.
Yeah.
I would be a tiny guy, and the other guys.
And in AEW, you'd be lording over a few guys.
Yes.
To be fair.
Now, AEW, here's your next signing right here. Every day you don't contact us, you're leaving money on the table. The RWP invasion of AEW. I mean, come on.
I mean, I've got the belt. I've got the belt right here. You don't even need to make one up yet.
So
moving down, like I said, great match, 3.25. Did you rate it? What do you got?
Jeez, 3.5 star, just because of MJF.
He was so good. He was so good.
Brilliant heel in wrestling right now. There is no heel better, and I know you want to say The Miz.
We discussed this.
He's not a heel right now.
We did discuss this. He's not a heel right now.
MJF takes it by technicality there.
But we discussed this during. How great would it be to see The Miz in this atmosphere with the handcuffs taken off, with the sensors taken off. I said, how great would it be to see MJF and The Miz against each other? But how good would it be to see them as a tag team just crushing it?
Oh, that would be marvelous.
Oh, it'd be beautiful.
It would be sweet, beautiful music.
MJF's psychology, it was probably one of the best in the card tonight, hands down. Hands down.
Yes. Yeah, hands down.
His in-ring psychology.
There was no one else whose in-ring psychology was even close. Hangman Page
I would counter that.
knows how to do main event style as a face, but no, nobody. Well, okay, you're right. I mean, later on in the card, match of the year contender,
which we're getting into
Cody
now.
Rhodes.
Yeah.
Also, but
Cody's psychology is right up there for me with what he did tonight. That is the match that came up next. Cody and Darby Allin. This match surprised the ever-living hell out of me.
And the network was working at that point.
Well, we got the laptop running. We got to watch the match start to finish, no interruptions. So thank you, laptop, for working. But I didn't know much about Darby Allin at all.
I knew nothing about Darby Allin. He impressed me in this one.
I knew he was young. I knew he was kind of a gothic type. Yeah, that was about it. I gotta tell you, though,
that boy can take a bump.
Not only does he take a bump, the initial bump that he took, he got chucked into the ring post, through the ropes, flat out of the ring. That impressed me. Then the spot where he ascends the top turnbuckle, flat backs it
onto the
ring apron, no cushion. This boy.
They cut to a guy at ringside just going.
It's impressive. You're not built for longevity doing that stuff. I would say dial it back. You got the crowd support. Dial it back for your own sake. Darby. But the most impressive thing, I think they said he's 22. He's very young. His psychology in the ring surprised the hell out of me. I thought some of the transitions. Exactly. The transitions that he was doing. There was one spot I didn't like. He did kind of a flippy back onto Cody's splash. Didn't look quite great, but then he transitioned into an armbar, and then the hand stuff. Yeah, his psychology surprised me. So I'd like to know who he's trained by. Great stuff by him. The ending, though, the body bag, time limit, he gets stuffed in the body bag. Cody doesn't move, pulls him back out, goes for the pin, doesn't work, hits the move, goes for the pin, time runs out. I did not agree with it. I know you're kind of a fan of the old school time limit stuff.
And I get it. Like, it's to a guy that's been raised bread and butter from the time you switched from milk to solid foods, you've been watching New York territory with no time limits. Okay? I get that. But think about any other athletic performance, any other sporting competition where time limits aren't a factor. It doesn't exist.
That's fine.
So I get it, and it's also an easy way to keep both wrestlers strong. And it's free TV. We got a great match. If they ever get to go to the next level, there's Cody and Darby Allin in a no time limit or an anything goes match. Another match of the year.
It sets things up, but this happened.
Yes. Damn you, artist formerly known as Ty Dillinger.
Yeah.
You cost me my title, I'm convinced.
He comes out and just...
That makes no sense, but I don't care.
He comes out for no real explanation given, waffles Cody in the face, head with a chair.
Blood all over the place. We all thought it was real for a while.
People are going to say, oh, no, that was the hard way. No, he hit him on one side and the blade job was on the other.
The chair hit here. He was bleeding out of the back of the head, if you'd be so kind. Bleeding out of the back of the head here. Unless that chair completely wrapped over and cut him, that was a blade job the way his old man Dusty taught him.
Now, don't get me wrong.
Sometimes you got to go above the hairline, boy. That way don't show.
His bell was rung hard because that was a nasty shot.
Oh, yeah, you can see by, like, they don't do chair shots to the head like that anymore, for specifically that reason. We now know more about concussions than we, like, back in the late 90s, chair shot. Not hitting somebody in the head with a chair was considered ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly.
Now we know, and so seeing a chair shot unprotected to the head is very rare.
It is, and I hope that doesn't become the norm. You don't need it. Keep it special like that. Do it once in a while.
It doesn't have to be every single time. So,
what I didn't like about that, why is MJF out there?
You're right. I mean, there he is right there. Why? He's just been evil, dastardly heel all night and doing.
He's out there concerned for Cody.
Perfectly. And now he's out here doing the empathy shot.
No, I don't like that.
Now, I get it. They're trying to. Oh my goodness, is this real? I mean, you've got a heel coming out and caring about a face. And also, I just got to say that, Cody, I love the t-shirt. Hey.
I get that
he's broken some thrones.
They're trying to distance Cody from the Elite, and that's fine. That works here. So you got different guys coming out to check on him. But MJF should have been nowhere near that.
You are right. You're absolutely right. MJF should have not shown himself unless it was to be a dastardly heel the rest of the night. Mindless green glass.
That's all right.
So you're here for this gorgeous mug and our insights into the world of wrestling. So, what do you give that one, champ?
I thought it was a really good match. The psychology was on point for both guys. The match fluidity was fantastic. I thought it was awesome. 3.5.
I hate to agree because it's just under 4, but it's not quite 4, so I gotta go 3.5. Sorry, Cody. Sorry, Rhodes family, but, hey, you just had a 5-star potential match of the year. I can't hold the fact that you had a 3.5, just about 4-star match. And then when you include the rest of the stuff that happened afterwards, that is 4. So.
Ignore that.
Background. So.
Then, of course, we get into the 6-man tag match.
Okay, let me take it from here for a second, champ. What we had
here, that, I'm gonna do something about that.
What we had here, I'll get this gorgeous mug in that shot. What we had here was another potential tag team match of the year, almost, and then. Come here, Tony. Come here. Hadouken! Oh, wait. That didn't do anything to you. Because that's not real. Even in the slightest. Even in simulated combat. Nowhere in the history of mixed martial arts. Nowhere in the history of any martial art competition. Nowhere in the history of any grappling. Has anybody done a Hadouken? And then you have 3 people doing a Hadouken at the same time to their opponents. And it just, why would we have something that's so serious and competitive like Cody against, and then you have this where you're doing stupid video game moves. For those who don't know, the Hadouken is from the Street Fighter video game.
Well, they came out in the Street Fighter get up. That's fine. I get it. Fine. But then, I'm honestly surprised we didn't, false reality and some blue lightning when they did that.
It was really bad.
Honestly, I took a 0.5 star off just because of that.
At least that,
don't get me wrong.
It was close to a 4-star match on the work rate until the Hadouken just shit all over everything that they were working for in that match. Shit on everything everyone else on the whole card, other than the hardcore match, had been working for that entire night. And
I don't know.
Shit on the entire idea that this is a serious event or an athletic competition.
Yeah, and the fact that, there were some really good spots, but then during the match, how many times did you hear me say, who's legal?
Yeah, we had, I'd be like, oh, that was a really cool spot. Then Tony go, so Phil, who are the 2 legal people? I don't know. That hasn't mattered in 10 minutes.
No, because for the most part, you had the Bucks doing their tag team stuff. And then a lot of the heavy lifting of the match, the inner workings of it, was done by Laredo Kid and Kenny Omega. The big flippy spots, Bucks and Lucha Bros. But Laredo Kid,
the actual psychology was Laredo Kid and Kenny Omega. Yeah. So a lot of
heavy lifting done there
by Laredo Kid.
And then, of course, they got the finish as well. So Kenny Omega, obviously, he gets the finisher, he gets the pin, he gets his win back, right? That's all good and well. But yeah, you can't take the reality out of it to that extent.
Because wins and losses matter. Unless it's a draw, in which case wins, losses, and draws.
Yes, draws. That's right.
They're in there too.
That is right. Yeah. So that hurt it for me. I like I said, I took a half star off of the Duke, and I gave it 3. Cirque du Soleil or not?
It really was a Cirque du Soleil match where there's just a lot of flippy stuff, a lot of cooperative stuff. You had the Bucks, like literally, it's like, wow. So this is what it's like when you own a company. One guy is throwing 2 dudes at once. It's like,
And the Lucha Bros couldn't do that because they don't own the company.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I hate to agree, but I'm going to agree. 3 stars.
Yeah.
So then we move on to the unsanctioned main event. We're turning the lights off, and then when they turn back on, it's unsanctioned. Ooh. So that was...
yeah, that... match, man. Wow.
Yeah.
We knew it was going to be a lot of CZW old school style spots.
Furniture store match.
So Joey Janela, Jon Moxley in the unsanctioned main event. Moxley, of course, gets the most emotional entrance out of everybody all night. Gets the big pop. They start out. They do some stuff, and then they get right into the hardcore stuff. And boy, let me tell you, Renee Young has just got to be thrilled about the fact that he's doing, more deathmatch style wrestling nowadays.
I mean, what wife or girlfriend doesn't love the fact to see that their man, driving into thumbtacks and barbed wire?
Yeah,
it's what they all dream of.
Oh yeah, the Russian leg sweep off the apron through the table. That was mild.
I'll never forget what you said when one of us pointed out, wow, Jon Moxley's facial expression work is way better than I've ever seen it.
When he's happy.
Yeah, so that's what it looks like when you're happy.
When you actually care about what you're doing. Weird.
Who would have thought that?
Yeah, weird.
So
then we get the ladder out. We do a bigger table spot.
Lots of tables.
Then luckily,
thank God.
Not only was there one barbed wire board, there was a second barbed wire board.
Thank God they
luckily underneath the ring. Yeah.
I mean, they really ought to talk with those ring technicians. Maybe don't
leave that stuff there.
The chairs, the tables, the barbed wire boards, the kendo sticks.
We know how important the barbed wire board is.
Maybe they shouldn't leave that under the ring. I got to think the ring crew, they're like, where do we put all these kendo sticks, tables, and barbed wire boards? Obviously, under the performance surface.
Get a trailer to hide them. Come on, guys. You got to keep that stuff away from the match.
I'm sure they'll know better next time.
Oh, yeah.
Where do we keep this bucket of 2 bags of thumbtacks?
Yeah, let's get into that.
Woo!
So he gets a bucket, Moxley does, and you think, well, has he got a bucket of thumbtacks or glass or what? He pulls out a bag, he dumps out the thumbtacks. Then he proceeds to take off Janela's shoes
and socks.
And I'm like, man, have a heart. Leave the socks on. So that way you can at least... No, takes the socks off. Ouch. Janela with a pin cushion of feet.
Yep, he gives him the atomic drop, picks him up and drops both feet onto the thumbtacks. And the thumbtacks are sticking in his feet. There's blood all over the place. And we're like, yep, this is that good old late 90s hardcore wrestling we grew up with. Then Moxley does one of the weirdest, I don't even know why, pours out another bag of tacks, grabs him for a DDT, drives his own back and his opponent's head into the thumbtacks. 1, 2, 3. So,
Moxley, your winner, obviously. Man, and we gotta comment on twice. The crowd gave Jon Moxley the "You Sick" chant.
I'll say it. You sick fuck! You sick fuck! You sick fuck! And he deserved him.
And you're over. We knew he was over.
And he bowed to the audience when they did. That was perfect. I was like,
That was good. Like I said, it makes a difference when you're happy.
Yeah. So,
what do you give it?
I'm going to let you go first because you're going to disagree.
Man, it wasn't much of a wrestling match. JR said as much before we started. We knew going in it was going to be a car crash, hardcore match.
All that being said,
I'm going to say 3.5. Yep, 3.5.
You're really going to disagree with this.
Okay.
4.5 stars.
What?
4.5 stars.
Are
For
you
those sacrifices,
kidding me?
the story they told, the reactions they were getting, 4.5 stars.
4.5?
As good as his former Shield brother.
Oh, this is going on this shoulder. You don't need to touch it again. 4.5? Oh, no.
4.5 stars.
That was not a 4.5-star match. It was
the
not.
The thumbtacks put it up to that. It was at least a 4, and then the thumbtack psychology.
If that is how you grade a match, Abyss has had like a dozen 7-star matches then.
No.
With more barbed wire boards, more thumbtacks.
No.
Fire. There was no fire.
Finding a way to trip over his own dick into his own tag is not a good match.
You can't even give it 4.5. There was no fire.
Oh, but there was blood.
Well, I would hope. There was a barbed wire chair in the ring. I'd hope there was blood.
And thumbtacks
and somehow,
at one point Moxley was just bloody just because.
And somehow Cody bled more.
Yeah. Man, that impact on his head must have just caused so much reverberating. Yeah. I've heard of those. Reverberation impact blood trauma.
Yeah.
It's
happens
a real
lot.
thing.
Happens a lot.
Let me check over here. Shit, you could be bleeding. So,
then of course,
I'm sorry, Tony. You're not going to get me off of this. 4.5.
Give me a break.
4.5 star match. At least I didn't go 6.2.
I'd slap you. So then, of course, we got Omega comes out, gets the brawling back in his favor this time. So we've got a trade off. So we've got some better build for their eventual match.
Let me know if this was your experience in the comments section.
What?
In the middle of the brawl, it cuts off. Thank you for watching this event.
Yeah.
Right when Kenny Omega's getting the drumsticks, and I'm thinking, he's going to hit the drumsticks on his freshly tacked back.
Cut. Oh, okay.
And there's no way. When we tried to replay it, just replayed the pay-per-view from the beginning.
So production-wise, and you know what?
That's what I give it.
And you know what? I think it's perfect that our production level is pretty piss poor tonight in the effort that AEW unfortunately
I was about to say, this is about the effort they put.
We got no green screen tonight. Hell, I'm getting up and walking around doing shit with YouTube in the background.
And it also needs to be stated, I'm a working stiff here. Some of us weekend warriors, I was working I was actually in a tractor during the entire pre-show, and I had to watch it on my phone as we were setting up here. So that's one of the reasons WWE does it on Sundays, because some of us weekend warriors working stiffs aren't going to be able to catch the show.
Indeed.
But let's be honest here, in terms of production value, I give this event 2 wrestle shits.
Yeah, it was not good. Could have been a lot better. I will say at least they upgraded a bit on the commentary booth. Gold for the other guy.
Oh my God, night and day.
Yeah.
Night and day. I mean, you had the last time.
Wow.
JR is the kind of guy that can usually make the other guys better. In this case, last time at Double or Nothing, they actually brought Jim Ross down. This time, Jim Ross was actually with some people who knew what they were doing. Excalibur, drop the mask, man. I'm sorry. It just looks silly.
Yeah, it's unnecessary at this point if you're going to be a commentator.
Jim Ross was big on commentators not having a gimmick. Because you're supposed to be
next to the king.
It's supposed to be a sportscaster. Jerry Lawler accepted. What has Excalibur ever done? Jerry Lawler pile drive Andy Kaufman twice, sir. Twice in one night, sending him to the hospital. It was all
Jerry Lawler and Excalibur have the same amount of WrestleMania wins.
Damn you, sir. Damn you, fire on you.
But I'm not wrong. So overall, how would you say this show stacks up to Double or Nothing? First and foremost, this was a free show compared to the $50 you had to drop on Double or Nothing. So, for the free aspect of this, I get why the production probably took a hit, but at the same time, you're coming out hot after a very successful show, and this production was just bad. It was bad. The commentary is better. Production was really bad. The app that you viewed it on was just laggy. I feel like they need to do a little bit of damage control there. Hopefully, maybe that's going to affect the price of the next show.
Fight for the Fall.
Yeah.
And
maybe.
And All Out. We'll see.
All Out's probably going to be like $70, dude. Come on.
Yeah, see.
At least 50.
If Punk signs, probably 100.
If they promote Punk on the show,
horrible marks will pay it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
If Punk signs on to do that show, it's going to be $120 to watch it, and yeah, it's going to sell. It's going to sell.
Like, we're going to have to get the entire Revolutionary Wrestling podcast crew in here to chip in 20 so we can all sit and watch it. But, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I wanted a little bit more. There was some really good stuff on this card. Don't get me wrong. Some really good matches. Really good spots.
The Cody Rhodes Darby Allin match should have had a finish. I get why they
that would have been match of the night for me had it had a finish.
I get why, because they're going to give them more time and a different stipulation. And then Tony,
not only
will it be a match of the night potential, it'll probably be yet another match of the year contender from Cody Rhodes.
Well, right now your contender is apparently Cody and Dustin and Moxley and Janela.
And Rollins and AJ Styles.
Which is currently match of the year. Sorry.
Currently sports entertainment of the year. I will give you that. You are absolutely right. It is a fine bit of New York sports entertainment. But wrestling, yeah. Well, our varying liqueurs, my Cavassier is getting low, as well as your, you know I got you there. It's like, yes, it is good.
You're not wrong. You're just an asshole.
I know.
You're not wrong.
That'll be put on my gravestone, sir. So.
Etched indeed. All right. So.
All that being said, Fyter Fest. There was a couple of bad results.
Yeah.
MJF, I'm so sorry, sir. You should have gotten the W. I should have gotten the W. But the rest of the card had some decent matches, had a great match in its unofficial main event. He and I are going to be arguing about this all year, about whose match what of the year and who, what, when, where, how, what. So, folks, follow us in all the happenings of the world of wrestling. Let us know in the comments section. Like, share, subscribe. Who's right? I mean, is Phil KOE right, or is Phil KOE ridiculously right? Let us know in the comments. I am the devilishly handsome outlaw himself, your king of extreme, the king of the KOE nation, signing off and handing it off to my indomitable broadcast partner. This is Phil KOE signing out for the evening.
Tony G here, 4-time champ. Like, share, subscribe, and thank you so much for joining us for Fyter Fest. I promise you our production level will be better next time, which is, I hope, more than AEW can say about this show. Get better. We'll get better. Everybody will be better for it. We will see you next time.
See you later, folks.